have the electric components, but we also have the fact that this is fully foldable too. However, let's start this journey off with the unboxing. And my first bit of advice is to make sure you unbox this with a good bit of space around you, and not like I did in a tiny room. Now you obviously get the A1F bicycle, which arrives all intact with no assembly required. Apart from the pedals, you do have to install the pedals. But you also get an additional box, and inside that we have the pre-mentioned pedals, one power brick charger, a handy spanner, the instruction manual, and a pair, yes 2, remote control alarms with a keychain attachment. Moving on to this magnificent yet minute machine, well, I have to admit that I quite like the quirky design. It doesn't look the most pleasing to the eye, but it is definitely eye-catching. Its build consists of a completely matte black low step aluminium frame and comes complete with a front headlight and a rear fog light. Front and rear mudguards are also included as standard to stop you turning up at your location with an unfashionable mud sprayed face. There's also a small LCD display for battery monitoring, a bike stand, reflectors, and as I'm sure you've already noticed, a handy rear shelf for additional storage. Our next stop is a quick look at some of the essential specifications. So we have 16-inch wheels on an aluminium alloy frame with a 250 watt Hall brushless gear DC motor connected to the back wheel. Hidden inside the crossbar is a 36 volt 7.5 Ah lithium battery which takes around 4 hours to charge. You can get a top speed of around 15 miles per hour and travel up to approximately 24 miles in pedal assist mode or approximately 18 miles in throttle mode. The IPS rating comes in as the standard IP54 with front and back disc brakes to allow you to stop safely. The weight of the bike comes in at 21.2 kilos with a load rating of approximately 75 kilos or 165 pounds. And finally, the front handlebars are height adjustable from approximately 68 to 102 centimeters, with the rear seat also adjustable from approximately 59 centimeters to 100 centimeters. But the main question is, I'm sure you all wish to know, is how good is the ride? Releasing the A1F into the big and mighty world, well, I must admit, was a little daunting. How would it cope? How safe would it be? And should I have bought a better looking helmet? As a matter of fact, taking off was pretty much plain sailing, or I suppose you could say, plain cycling. It's very civilised, almost elementary in its interaction with the ground. Pedalling is just like any normal bike. You pedal, you ride, you move, gliding swiftly through the air like a small bird released from its cage. But don't let the word small put you off, because although this animal can't conquer with its size, it does master both comfort and confidence. I'm sure another big question on your mind is how will your rear end cope after you use this electric contraption? Luckily, you will be pleased to hear that the leather shock absorbing seat does pack quite a bit of cushioning for those long or even short journeys. Yes, unfortunately there is no additional suspension throughout the crisp and clean bodywork, but still riding this bike is a smooth experience, perfect for on the road or your local bike trail. And after using the A1F for several hours over many days, so far I've had no trouble or discomfort when sitting down afterwards. I would not recommend this for off-roading in the sand dunes or downhill biking the side of Everest, but for general cycling, whether to work or just for enjoying the scenery, this little carrier does remarkably well. Of course, the weight capacity of this electric bike is supposedly 75 kilos, so this should be something to bear in mind before purchase, as depending on the weight of the rider will determine the overall comfort and experience. I will state though that myself, weighing approximately 80 kilos, I haven't noticed any issues or any slowdown in performance. It did however make me think twice before placing any additional baggage on the back for fear of overstraining the motor. Back to cycling, and if you are new to e-bikes like myself, it is nice to have no fear of becoming tired or getting sore legs. Because obviously with this having a battery powered motor, If at some point on your journey your legs wish to relax, then with a simple twist of the throttle, you can carry on to your destination seamlessly, if not faster, thanks to the top speed of around 50 miles per hour. But there is also the additional cruise mode option too. That's right, by turning the throttle whilst pedalling, you will feel the motor kick in to help you take the term easy rider to a whole new level. Go on those long commutes without breaking a sweat, or even just save it for when you wish to look good travelling super fast up a hill. Now when I say up a hill, if your everyday route has 90-degree slopes on it, then you may be expecting a little too much for the A1F to power you over it. Fortunately for me, hills and slopes where I live are fairly minimal. Unfortunately for me though, when I did find a hill, I had no idea how many degrees it sloped. I can tell you though that this e-bike, according to the manual, can handle up to 15 degrees of uphill travel. And even then you can still cycle while standing if it really is too steep. So how about the travelling distance of your new pedalling companion? Does it live up to the supposedly 18 miles in throttle mode? Well, personally, that is a difficult one to answer. Through my numerous cycling trips, I would average anywhere between 14 and 17 miles to the charge. However, this will all depend on many factors as well. What is the bike carrying in terms of weight? How good or bad is the terrain? And not forgetting the previously mentioned hills and slopes. But that being said, I am more than happy with the battery performance. It worked when I wanted it to, both in terms of speed and allowing my legs to enjoy the free ride. If you are concerned about running out of battery momentum before you reach your target, then this is where the cute little battery indicator will be your best friend. Located on the right hand side of the handlebars, it will light up with a very simplistic display whenever you turn on your bike. It is a shame that this display doesn't show anything else, such as your speed, which is something I really did miss upon my travels. But at least you can take with you the peace of mind of knowing when it is time to either stock up on electricity or prepare your pedalling boots for a workout. But what do you do after many years of putting pedal to the metal? Your battery gives out its last ounce of energy before being declared officially dead. Or for some reason you ride into a swimming pool. Is the battery replaceable? Taking a quick gander at the DYU website, you will quickly find the option to buy a replacement battery for none other than the A1F. How difficult or straightforward this is to manually change over, I cannot say, but looking at the centre fuselage where it folds in two, it does appear that this can be unscrewed to allow access to the internal components. Arriving at our next stop, we come to portability, because yes, just in case you didn't know, this mini monster is portable. With just a few quick release levers, you fold the main crossbar in half, then the handlebars go down and across. If you wish, you can also fold in the pedals as well as lower the seat to take it back to its almost embryo-sized days. It can be a bit fiddly at first, but generally it should take no longer than 30 seconds, and it is well worth it for the reduced storage size. Take it on local transport or maybe place it in your car. The A1F is a sure winner when it comes to transferring your bike. Don't get me wrong, I wouldn't like to personally carry this over any long distance, as its weight of 21.2 kilos or 47 pounds may be light for an e-bike, but it certainly doesn't feel it after walking a good few yards. So overall, is the DYU A1F a suitable addition for your travel needs? Well, this is my first e-bike review, and personally I think it's an excellent example of alternative transport. It's compact yet durable, small but comfortable, and it does all this without destroying your wallet. There is the additional alarm and lock for deterring unwanted users, and not forgetting a small horn which is surprisingly loud. Yes, it would be nice for a slightly superior display, and maybe even an app that can be used alongside it. But also, I wouldn't recommend this for anyone who is towering well above the 6-foot mark due to the frame's condensed design. But for a smart looking, adaptable electric city bike that really does bring a smile to your face with its overall ease of use, comfort and of course portability, the DYU A1F may not stand out as an almighty road warrior, but it definitely stands out in terms of functionality.